Well, hello and welcome to Seattle. Hello. Okay, you can tell I'm rusty. Seattle's real estate podcast. I am Dan Edwards, managing broker of the Seattle real estate team, and I want to welcome you back to our podcast. Yeah, we took a little time off in the summer, enjoyed a beautiful August, and we're back with a vengeance. We're going to have a great show for you today. I welcome my good friend Tucker Maxwell over there at Guild Mortgage. We're going to be talking about what's going on with mortgage rates and a lot of that good stuff. But first, during our Real Talk segment, we're going to talk about why you should be planning your Thanksgiving right now. If you're like me, you are seeing all over the place all of these Halloween decorations. But just so you know, right behind the Halloween decorations are the Thanksgiving and the Christmas decorations. You know what's happening. I know we haven't even left September, but I have to tell you that the time to plan for Thanksgiving is now. What does that mean? Well, there are some folks out there that may be listening to this podcast that are thinking about making a move at some point, and they were maybe thinking about it before the big holiday season. So if you take a look at the calendar and you were to start getting qualified and looking today, and then you got into contract 30 days from now, that will put you in the prime time to be moving in and setting up in your brand new home for just in time for the Thanksgiving holiday. So what are 3 reasons why you should consider being ready now to take advantage of the current market, which we'll talk a little bit with our friend Tucker here in the Mortgage Moment, why you should take advantage of lower interest rates and a growing supply of inventory? Well, first off, if you're thinking about the Thanksgiving holiday, you might be thinking about more space for hosting. What was it like last year? Were you all crammed into a little spot where you had a little tiny table and then you added a card table to the end, a card table to the end? Well, thinking about that now could put you in a position to be the super host this year, the one that's got plenty of room for not only the kiddies table, but the friends table. So number 1 reason is you're going to find more space for hosting. Number 2 is an updated kitchen for holiday feasts. Like, I got to tell you, one thing that's very important during a Thanksgiving gathering or a feast of any kind is counter space. Well, if you get that more space, another thing you can do is look for the more updated kitchen. Do you want an island with a prep sink in it? Maybe you're looking for 2 ovens plus the 3rd microwave down below. Well, if you are looking to expand your space, your kitchen, yeah, you could remodel it. But wouldn't it be nice to add more space and also have an updated kitchen? And the number 3 reason is to get back that brother or sister-in-law, whoever it is who's always hosting, because they always have the house that's hosting. So creating a new holiday tradition in your new home, you have to. If you're the one that just bought the home, well, check it out. Your friends or your family or whoever who always host, they have to defer to you this year. So that means you get to have them do the dishes while you sit on the couch and do the football because you prepared the whole meal. That's my hack right there, is always host so that I don't have to clean up. Anyways, so there are 3 reasons. If you want more space for the holiday, if you want an updated kitchen and a family feast, updated kitchen for that holiday feast, and if you want to be the one that hosts, start the new holiday tradition at your place, you will reach out to the Eastside Real Estate team. We can talk to you about finding that perfect space for you. No longer in your stupid apartment. You're able to host this coming Thanksgiving. All right, that's my Real Talk segment. Now, coming up after this very short commercial break, we're going to bring Tucker Maxwell in. We're going to talk about how do you get the finances, and we're going to talk about what's going on so we can put you in that new kitchen after this short commercial break. Oh, which, by the way, you don't want any pets either. Pests.
The pest stops here. Green City Pest Control is your full-service pest solution for all your pest control needs. With an owner with 32 years experience, a board-certified entomologist, and rodent specialist, we do it all. Bats to rats, crawl space, or attic. Call us and we will resolve your problem. 425-413-9700.
Welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Dan Edwards, managing broker of the Seattle real estate team. And I am joined by our good friend Tucker Maxwell of Guild Mortgage. Tucker, welcome back to the show. Where did I go wrong on that opening monologue?
Nowhere. It just made me hungry for Thanksgiving dinner. I'm ready to host already.
Now, are you the host in the family?
You know, we kind of go rogue on Thanksgiving and don't cook a traditional meal. And so we're not big, people aren't real thrilled to come over to our place because there's no turkey, there's no stuffing.
No biscuits, too. No, probably muffins and all that. No pie.
Nope. Last year it was fish tacos and ceviche. So it's our own thing.
It's your own thing. Okay. Well, that actually is one creative way to get out of hosting.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah.
So if you don't want to host,
Right.
basically just do what Tucker did. No, I love that. Really, the conversation here is most people aren't thinking about it until it's too late. And now is the time to really be thinking about it. That if you want to host, whether it's I want a new home for Christmas, all that stuff, inventory is going up. You're seeing that, aren't you?
Absolutely. Yeah. We're seeing great deals. The contracts that are coming through right now we're really impressed with the buyers are getting.
All right, so let's talk logistics. So somebody's going to get qualified. There's a lot of talk about interest rates. What's going on with current mortgage rates?
Yeah, so Dan, great news on interest rate front. We've seen interest rates fall for the last number of weeks. We're at about the lowest rates we've seen in a year and a half. I always defer to mortgagenewsdaily.com for current interest rates if you're just trying to track the general direction of rates. So that's my disclaimer here that these rates that I'm about to talk about come from Mortgage News Daily, and they're just your, run-of-the-mill 20 to 25% A-rated paper, so great credit profiles. And today they're showing that the average interest rate on a 30-year fixed is near 6%. So 6.11% is what they're showing, which is, if you look back, a point and a half, 1 to 1.5% below the peak that we were at in 2023. So definitely.
Well, I think that's important to say something there is if you're looking at mortgage rates right now, the best mortgage rates are purchase loan mortgage rates. Is that right?
Correct.
I didn't want to overstate that. But this goes back to that new home for Thanksgiving, right?
Exactly.
If you're looking to just refinance your existing home, what are you getting for a refinance right now?
So refinance rates are really all over the map and really hard to predict. Your low income loan, so Home Ready, Home Possible, these loans that are designated for people below or at 80% of the area median income, those rates are pretty comparable to your purchase rates. But your standard 20% down, 50 to 60% equity loan, you're correct on those refinance rates aren't quite there yet, because what the lenders are hesitant is that you're going to refinance multiple times, and us as lenders are going to get hit with penalties for these loans being paid off too quick. So just kind of a disclaimer out there. If you're looking to refinance, I don't think we're quite there yet. I would hold on just a little bit longer, because the goal would be to refinance once, not 2 or 3 times as rates fall. We have a really important meeting next week with the Fed. The Federal Open Market Committee meets next week on the 17th and 18th. And while I believe we've already priced in what we assume they're going to do during that specific meeting, what they'll hopefully do is lay out a plan for the rest of the year, which should include some further rate drops, which should allow us to build in further decrease in rates right away.
So once mortgage bankers like yourself, and not you, I mean Guild Mortgage, once they hear what the Fed intends to do, and as long as it's matching what they're predicting and what they believe would be good for their business, right?
Yep.
Then they're going to adjust their future strategy. And right now we're at the tail end of a strategy. We've seen inflation fall below 2% now, which is super helpful. We do need goods and services to come down in that price. What other economic factors are going to help reinforce kind of less pressure on rates?
Jobs. So that's the real big thing. And you nail it. Inflation, of course, is the one. And those inflation reports did come out today. Not quite in line with what we had hoped, about 0.08 above it. So nothing major to write about, but it wasn't quite what they had hoped for. But the jobs report is the other thing, because we're trying to track, is the economy growing or slowing? And if the economy is slowing down, then it puts greater emphasis or greater pressure on the Fed to drop rates. So those are the big factors we're kind of monitoring. And to your point about us hedging in advance, when I lock in a loan today, we're not going to deliver that loan for 30, 40, maybe 60 days. So we get well ahead of it. So when we heard a month ago or a month and a half ago, when we got inflation data that showed that we were at that 2% rate, we knew the Fed was going to potentially cut rates next week. And so we priced it in right then.
Right away.
So all eyes are on the Fed because we're now watching, are they going to do something unexpected? Right now, we've priced in expecting them to cut rates by 0.5%. And again, that's not mortgage rates. They're cutting the rate that banks charge each other on an overnight basis. If they cut by 0.25% instead of 0.5%, you could actually see home loan rates increase next week. And that's what I don't think a lot of people are talking about is we've already all priced in the 0.5% that we're hoping for. And if it doesn't come true, we might have to pull back a little bit.
Well, and I would predict that it's probably not the case given the election year and the fact that the economy, the jobs reports came out as slower, right?
Yeah,
It came out a little down, which means the economy is cooling off. That allows them to lower the rates. The whole idea of jacking those rates up is because inflation was so high. So I feel like we're all in alignment with where it should go. But you're right. That's why we pay attention to these things so that you don't have to. So ultimately, lower mortgage rates. What's that mean for home buyers in Seattle?
Yeah. So first, I mean, it helps to answer the affordability question. You know, payments are now coming in line with what buyers want to pay on a monthly basis, whereas for the last year and a half, they've just kind of tolerated what it is. But that's going to allow them to buy more homes. So they're going to be able to buy a higher priced home. So we're going to see competition increase at higher price points. And it's going to lead to increased competition. We've already seen purchase applications increase. I was on a webinar nationally with our company today, and our senior leadership said that we're up 18% this month over last month. So already we're seeing almost a 20% increase from August to September, which usually it's the opposite. Usually we have a higher purchase applications in August than we do in September. And so we're already seeing this hit. And so it is nice that inventory levels have increased a little bit, but with the increased demand, inventory is now probably going to be a question again.
Gotcha. Yeah, I would say why I don't think inventory will be as much as a problem is because of the time of year. Yep. Because of the time of year, interest rates are going down. We will get more inventory. We're just not going to get a lot of more inventory. But again, there are reasons to make moves that transcend having to wanting to. Right. There's also the have to. So keep an eye on that. Cool. Well, anything else you want to ask? Did I cover everything on your list there? Economic indicators. Yeah, I think that's everything. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for coming on. This is a short podcast today, but we just needed to get back to it. So exactly. I think it's some good points and stuff like that. What are you doing for the weekend?
This weekend we have the Diplo Run Club, which I don't know if Diplo's a DJ producer, and he started this new thing where it's a running club. So they kicked it off in San Francisco a few weeks ago and had like almost 30,000 people show up to this 5K run. And they're doing it at Gasworks Park Saturday morning. So if you're in the Gasworks area, know that there's going to be a ton of traffic, and the Fremont Bridge is closed, I believe. And 405 is going to be closed this weekend. So traffic, but the Diplo Run Club is Saturday. So I'm looking forward to that.
Wait, so you just run around Gasworks Park with a DJ?
Yeah, they got a stage set up at Gasworks Park, so they'll play there. But yeah, the Diplo himself will actually lead the run. And so he's trying to do this movement to create like activities and fitness in the music concert kind of realm, because that's typically an unhealthy type of setting. And so they're trying to blend that with fitness.
Sure. Okay, cool. Well, sounds like fun. As you know, Apple Cup this weekend. It sucks. I wish it was later in the year. And I haven't decided if I want to go yet or not.
Yeah. So do the traditions all start over? I don't have a dog in the fight here. I'm a saint from St. Martin's University, but is this a resetting of that tradition?
It's if you ask my honest opinion, it's a bastardization of college football, and it ticks me off. It's really sad. Our rivalry game should be the last game before Thanksgiving. Because why? Because as a family, we come together and we can't agree anyway. So you might as well throw a rivalry game in there too. There's maybe things will change in the future. I don't know, but either way, go Huskies. And I don't know if there's any other rivalries this week. They're all so random. So
Right.
it's very interesting. So I'll at least be doing that and helping showing some homes to some fantastic buyers. So thank you guys all for watching. Again, Home for the Holiday, we can help you and your source. Thanks for joining us on the Seattle Real Estate Podcast. I'm Dan Edwards. This is Tucker. This is Tucker. I'm pointing that way.
Yeah.
Tucker Maxwell with Guild Mortgage. Thanks for joining.